Say hello to the all-new Perodua Axia. Larger, more efficient, smarter and safer than before, the new Axia continues to provide all the value that Malaysians want in an exciting new package with a lot more to talk about. My name is AIMAN ABDULLAH, this is MalaysianMotoring. This is our very quick walk around of the all-new Perodua Axia. Now, in terms of styling, that's where you'll see some of the bigger changes with the Axia. It retains a very familiar look as far as I'm concerned, because it does remind me of the outgoing model, but the face is now even more aggressive, incorporating the X-shaped motif that we've seen from other Perodua vehicles. And now for the advanced model as well as some of the low models, you get full LED headlights with manual leveling, but some models now also get LED daytime running lights in the bumper. Down the side, you get 14-inch alloy wheels as standard across the range. There are no variations to this, so even the advanced models use exactly the same rolling stock as the other models. But you do get a body kit down for the AV models, and you do get some folding side mirrors, and overall the surfacing down the side looks a lot more complex than before. Another interesting feature that I'd like to talk about while we're here is the color. This is the new coral blue being introduced for this generation Perodua Axia. It's a brand new color for Perodua, and I think it looks rather fetching. And at the rear, you can see a lot more complex surfacing throughout the vehicle. The tailgate now looks even more complex, with lots of surfaces and lots of shapes to play with to make this car look more upmarket and more premium than the outgoing model. There is a little bit of variation here, however, because the base Perodua Axia will get bulb combination taillights, whereas upper models will get LED combination taillights like we see on this car. Now, one of the key tenets of the Axia is practicality, and the new generation model builds upon that. This boot is larger than before, significantly so, although that does mean that there is a significant load lip now, so you'll have to carry items in and out. However, the rear seats do fold flat, although as a single bench only, no 60-40 or 50-50 split here, but you know, it's better than nothing. The boot floor is also not flat, but again, you're talking about an entry-level vehicle. One thing I would like to point out, however, is the fact that this car does feel a lot more solid than before, as evidenced by this sound. See? Now, inside, the challenge for engineers was to design a cabin that was cost-effective without making it look like they were building it to a cost, and to that extent I think Perodua has done an excellent job. The choice of surfaces and surface materials here, yes, they are rather stiff, but they are most certainly going to be hard wearing. But more importantly, because of the complexity of the design, it certainly does not look as affordable as it used to be. Now, one of the things that I personally quite like in this advanced model is the fact that you now get a full-size color touchscreen like you get from the Perodua Activa and Perodua Myvi. You also get the Activa's digital air conditioning unit, although lower models do get the regular knobs, and you also get the seats, which do look like they've come out of the Activa with its red accents, as well as this lovely sort of suede nubuck-like material in the middle, which feels a lot more high quality than you'd expect at this price point. In terms of practicality, there are plenty of cubby holes. There's a lot of space in this car. You get two very large bottle holders down in the doors. You get two very deep cup holders up front. You do get a rather large storage cubby here. And for the first time in Axia, you now get steering wheel adjustment. Although unfortunately, it only goes up and down and it doesn't get closer to you. Oh well, can't have everything, right? Interior space is a big part of the Perodua Axia, and that was carried over into this new generation model. While the tandem point, which is the distance between the hips of the front and rear passengers, have not changed, the increased wheelbase of this car, which is actually 25mm longer than that of the Perodua Myvi, means interior space has improved dramatically. As you can see, with this seat setup in my driving position, I have absolutely acres of legroom, and I do get decent under-thigh support. I don't have an adjustable backrest in the sense that the angle is going to be fixed, but I do have individual headrests, so my head is quite comfortable in this particular model. In terms of cubby spaces back here, I do have pockets behind the front seats. I get these little teh-tarik hooks at the back of each of the seats. You also get a cubby hole here. Unfortunately, there are no USB ports back here, although again, We're talking about a relatively affordable car here, so just put a power bank. Now, more importantly, the rear seats do come with ISOFIX mounts, which are very, very easy to locate. And because of the rather large aperture opening of the doors, you should be able to fit a large car seat back here without issue. Now, another key tenet for Axia buyers is the powertrain, because they love the fact the powertrain is very frugal. And that hasn't changed here, because this is still the same 1KR VE 1-litre 3-cylinder engine that we got from the outgoing model. However, instead of a 4-speed automatic, this is now paired with Perodua's dual CVT or D-CVT transmission that we've seen from the Ativa, the Myvi and the Alza. As a result, fuel economy in this car has improved from about 21 kilometers per litre on the Malaysian driving cycle to 23 kilometers per litre on the Malaysian driving cycle, which means in theory, if you drive like a priest, you can go from KL to Penang for less than 30 bucks of fuel, or so they claim, which I think is impossible because nobody drives that slowly. However, what is quite clear is in terms of packaging, you can see that this engine is now a lot more isolated from the outgoing model, and so in terms of driving, which you can see our impressions of up here, this engine promises to be more isolated, more refined than the outgoing model, while still providing the performance gains that everybody wants out of it. Now we've taken you on a walk around of Axia AV, Axia X, and this is the Axia G, the baseline model, which is why you get halogen reflector headlights and bulb combination taillights. Now, in terms of pricing, the Axia is expected to start at a little over 38,000 ringgit and top out at a little over 49,000 ringgit. While that does represent a significant price increase over the outgoing model, Perodua argues that because the Axia is now larger, more comprehensively equipped and better spec'd overall, the overall value increase in terms of these models is up to 12,000 ringgit, which is why the small price increase of between 3,000 to 7,000 ringgit over the outgoing model really shouldn't be that fussed about. And on top of that, in order to continue to appeal to the most price-sensitive buyers out there, Perodua will continue to produce the base-level Axia G manual in the outgoing spec, although the prices and specifications for that car will be announced sometime after Raya Aidilfitri. Now, what do you think about Perodua's new Axia? Let us know in the comment section below, because we'd certainly like to hear more from you. My name is AIMAN. This has been MalaysianMotoring. Stay safe.